All right, this little guy is a 1935 Royal Model O, and while these are just, again, a no bells or whistles kind of typewriter, we sure like these guys. Let's take a look. I love the black keys. They're absolutely beautiful on these typewriters. You can see the wear on within the keys on the letters, not wear, the weathering. Not weathering. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. You guys know what I mean. It's kind of darker and it's faded. It just has a genuine and authentic vintage look to it. No processing required. Natural time wear of on it, and I love it. It's so pretty. It makes me sad when people cut the keys off of these. I mean, if it's a completely dead typewriter, I get it, but please don't cut these off. Most of these typewriters can be reconditioned, so it's a part of history. Okay, let's take a look at this. All right, nice little typewriter. This is a good, like, traveling, not necessarily traveling, but it's very portable. It's even small for a portable. To adjust the margins, you flip that back plate over, and then you just press and drag. All right, flip that back. Your carriage release right here. What a cute little bell. This is your paper release. Okay, so back here is going to be adjusting for paper advancement. So 1 line or 2 lines or 3 lines. So the thing about these portables, they have really tiny return handles. Okay, so that's a double, that's a single. And honestly, I'm not sure what this one is for back here. Oh, there it is. It releases the platen. So the reason that's helpful is, can you hear the click? Okay, so that's, you know, a single line. When you release the platen, let's say you want to line up with lined paper, or you're trying to get in between a line, you release the platen so it's nice and free and you can adjust it wherever you want. Okay, let's move this to the left side. Pop this open. You'll see the ribbon. The nice thing about typewriters is most of them will take a universal ribbon. Not all of them, but most of them will. This one does take a universal ribbon, so when it's time to change it out, please pay attention to how this is threaded. You've got some guide wires here, plus right up here where the keys hit. So black goes on top, red goes on bottom. When you pop these back in, make sure, because there's a little pin that comes up, that pin is in one of these holes and it's not just kind of sitting on the top. Okay, so that's going this way. You can switch the direction and go this way. And you do that because when you get to the end of the ribbon spool, reverse the direction, because there's plenty of ink in these things. It's going to last you a long time. But you'll just have to reverse the direction back and forth. Pay attention. Sometimes you're typing away and the font is like getting really faint. You don't know why, and you keep typing. You can actually punch a hole in that ribbon. So if your font gets faint, or if your typewriter just starts typing differently, stop, reverse the direction of your ribbon, and see if that changes things. And most of the time that will. Okay, let's close that. This is your color selector. It's on red right now. Let's put it on black. And this touch control really doesn't do much, but it's supposed to change how hard these type bars strike the paper. These beautiful glass keys, gorgeous. This is your margin release, so that, oops, let me go back so you can see that again. When you get to the end of your margin that you have set right here, everything's gonna stop on this typewriter. There's nothing wrong with it. You just need to hit margin release if you really want to keep going, and then you can keep going. But really, you should just advance to the next line. Okay, let's go ahead and load a piece of paper and do some typing. Okay, so that lined up perfectly. Cha-ching. So I don't need to adjust it, but if I did, I could pull this forward and adjust my paper, and that releases the tension on the paper and I can adjust it. Okay, I said this was a 1935, so this does not have a number 1. Your lowercase l serves as your number 1. Oops, hold on. So this springs back. The keys are springing back pretty well. That's what I like to feel, that it's not slow. Some of them are kind of slow, but this springs back real nice. Okay, on these older ones, the shift lock, we're used to just pressing straight down. That doesn't work on this typewriter by design. So when you use the shift lock, you press down and then you press back. There's a little metal pin that sticks out, and that holds your carriage up. The carriage is the one that's actually moving on this typewriter, not the escapement. So it's going to hold that carriage up so you can do your symbols and your capital letters. Okay, let's undo the shift lock. Give the red ribbon a try. Backspace, I made a mistake. There's the bell, so I'm going to move that. Oops. Good. Man, this types really well. So if you're a writer and you are also constantly on the move, this would be a really good option for you, because this is typing very well. It's small, so it's portable, and it's gorgeous. It's truly vintage. So this is a good, I would say even a travel typewriter, even though the case is a little more boxy. This is a lightweight. It works very well. And it doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles, but it doesn't need it. This is just a awesome machine. So this gets an A from me. I love it. If you want to look at the close-up images of this machine, or head on over to our Etsy shop, the link is in the description below. Please feel free to leave comments, subscribe to us, like us, tell your friends about us, and have an awesome day.